Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. We have got some jam-packed little episode today to share with you as we start on the road to Lionsgate 2022. So before we jump into all of that, if you're new here, this is a special kind of a countdown we do every year towards preparing ourselves, our spiritual selves, or whatever it is going on that needs to be worked on or whatever, prior to Lionsgate, which is on the 8/8. So welcome, settle in, see if you like this. This is going to be kind of last year we did a scavenger hunt, so I'm going to share more about that, but this is kind of an adjunct to that. But if you didn't catch all of that because you're new, then that's okay. You can still just jump right in here, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me yet again here on the show. I am excited that you're here. I'm excited that we're all together again. I am grateful for all of your likes and subscribes and comments and shares and donations and emails and kind words, sharing the work that we're doing here with your people that you think might be interested in hearing about what's going on or on this journey, not to hear about what's going on, but they're on this journey themselves and might be interested to join us here at the TLC for the Soul Family. So let's start off. I do want to light, fire is coming in very heavy. So I'm recording this on 5/5/2022. I remember last time I told you I don't really work with fire that much. Did you see that flame though? That was amazing. I always get fire dragons when I light Palo Santo. So I want to light a little bit of Palo Santo. Something about this flame. I'm going to give you guys a little bit. So the element of lots of serendipities and synchronicities, wow, coming in today. And I will share, I do have some special messages that have just come across before I recorded this episode. I want to share that too, because there's some of you listening that I think there's like a little special something in there for you, in here for you. So stay tuned to that, and I'll ask the guides to bring that out when and if it's appropriate. But let's get us all into sacred space. So come out of your 3D reality and join me in this magic place as I wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who overlight this show, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and so many more who jump in and out as we play. I've never had Palo Santo stay lit this long. Hello, little friend. Last year, we worked with a scavenger hunt for and around Lionsgate. I did go back. I'm going to go back and put those videos in a playlist for YouTube and Spotify if you're interested in, because it's timeless. So if you want to kind of start the scavenger hunt with the 3 keys, so we had over a series of episodes, we were gifted, we didn't even look for, our guides gifted each one of you that participated with 3 keys. And they were significant and meaningful to you, although I felt like, and you know what, I can't find 2 of mine when I moved. I don't know some of my stuff, but I felt like when I found mine, I kind of still didn't really truly understand what all their purpose was. Although, I started kind of working with it. So for example, and he just kind of fell apart. What in the heck? Okay, so for example, the first thing that I found was gifted with was this beekeeper, this Lego man. He's a little beekeeper. Super cool. But I was kind of like, okay, what is the meaning of that? Not really exactly sure. I am interested in beekeeping, but I was like, I don't think that's it. I don't think it's the whole, oh, don't fall off again. This thing fell off earlier. The wind is really, really strong, so I had to shut the window. I don't want it to break. I want you there, but I don't want you to fall. Don't fall. The other thing I found was a blue ball that was just kind of showed up as I was on my morning walk, and that was significant and kind of represented the Pleiadians, because there were some confirmations that I got, and around that time we started working with the Pleiadians more on the show. I can't find the blue ball now. I'm sure it's around here somewhere, but I have like this crystal ball that we'll use in its place, and it is blue in a sense, like a blown glass. So we'll use that. And then the other thing I couldn't find was I found like some sort of weird like connection wire or something, and it looked like it had like 2 hooks and like a wire connecting. And for me, that was a sign of divine counterparts or sacred counterpart union or soul flames or twin flames or whatever you want to call it. I can't find that anymore. It was really small, so I don't know what happened to it. But this did speak to me because it looks so much like it. This top part looks so much like it because it was shaped like that. And this is like a pin I found one day when I was walking, and it says Taurus, Taurus energy. Now, do they want me to share the special message? Okay, so this might have meaning, obviously, for more than one of you. Otherwise, it has a special meaning. So fuzzy. It has a special meaning for me, but it may also have a special meaning for you, because I was thinking about this episode, like what I was trying to like assimilate what I was going to do when. And so we're going to do, here's what we're going to do first. Before I say this, hold on. I'm going to give you this message, whoever this is meant for. We've got a new rose coming in. So roses were coming in very strongly today. And last year we were working with the Rose of Santo Domingo. And for this scavenger hunt, or whatever you want to call it, for this mystery teaching, we're going to be working with the Rose of San Juan Capistrano. So San Juan Capistrano may have a special meaning for some of you. And we also are going to be, what we're doing, the purpose of this is on the 5-5, the 6-6, and the 7-7. In between now and the 8-8, we will come to understand, we're going to get the, what is it called? Like the keyhole to our keys. We're going to be able to open the door. So the door with the keyhole that fits our keys is going to come, one for each key that you have. So you should have 3 between now and Lionsgate. So my guides know I like mystery and serendipity and synchronicity and fun and playfulness. And so this is a way to kind of do all of that. So if you're in on that, and you have not found your 3 keys yet, maybe you already kind of have 3 things. Maybe you've been working with the power of 3 elsewhere, and you have some sort of like something that signifies 3 things to you. And maybe they're more metaphorical than physical objects. Then, this is for you too, because you could have gotten some sort of keys or downloads from other spiritual teachers, from your own inner guru. You may want to just on your own, as part of this child's play thing, like set the intention to find the key and find the lock at the same time. It doesn't have to have been done, like there's been almost a year in between when we've been working with these 3 keys. And I honestly have not really technically really worked with them all that much. Maybe in a metaphorical sense I have, but I haven't really been sitting there going like, well, what do I do with the beekeeper? Although I will say, okay, here's the message. We are going to do a pick a card at the end of this too, because I think there's different paths and different meanings for each maybe door lock, or the overall significance of the 3 keys is kind of in a particular area or part of your life. And so we're going to do a pick a pile of cards at the end of this. And each one of these, well, I'll just use mine as the objects, but you'll pick a pile, or you can listen to all of them. Maybe you have something in all of them, but it will tell you like the journey of these 3 keys and the locks that you're supposed to find to fit them it will tell you, it will give you some more idea of and context around what that is for you. Ooh, finally got that out. Okay, here's the message. So I had this beekeeper guy, right? And along my journey over the past maybe month or so, I've been seeing a lot about the letter B. The letter B keeps coming up. B, and I found stuff that has like the letter B on it, like this bottle cap popped up and it looks like a BB. Now I used to know someone in my past who had the initials BB. It has nothing to do with that person, but there's B's on here. So for anybody, this is going to stand out to you or it's not. It's going to resonate 100% or it's not. So on the way over here, back home from taking my dog out, I was driving along and I think on the radio was, or not on the radio, on my phone, on my playlist was 38 Special, Caught Up in You, the song Caught Up in You. So that could be significant to you if you look at the lyrics or the meaning of the song. And then I kid you not, you cannot make these synchronicities up. I'm driving along and the car in front of me has a license plate 885 BEE, 885B. And I'm like, there's the B's again. And it turned right. And so I turned left and then I make an immediate right. And the car coming at me has the license plate twins. And the car behind it has the license plate. I don't even remember the numbers now because I got so excited. But the car right behind the twins license plate car was number BEE again. Okay. So there's a lot of mirrored energy today. And obviously, you know, twin souls, divine counterparts, soul unions, soul flame unions, whatever is a big, big thing between now and Lionsgate 8/8. Like I talked before, I think I talked about in the May energy video about this schedule of union of soul flames, be it friend or it doesn't have to be romance. It could be a friendship starting off. It could be a friendship that leads to romance, but these it's time, and so these connections are going to start to be ignited and initiated. So for anyone where the letter B is significant, it could be a person's name, it could be, you know, I don't know, but B and twins goes together. I do have the beekeeper here. The keeper of the bees? I don't know. Anyway, so that is a message for whoever that resonates with. The next thing we're going to do is read we always start pretty much with a story. And roses were calling out earlier. I kept seeing around me stuff with the name Rose, and I kept seeing roses. But like when Spirit's trying to send me sometimes a message, they'll like push it at me. I can't explain it, but like somebody had a rose in their video and the rose was just like, I could feel its energy like pushing. And then in the same video, she's got a card and she's like, oh, this card says this, but it also says down here real small, rose. If that's significant, I'm like, oh, yep. And then I started thinking like, what is it about roses that's significant about now? And I'm like, oh, the Rose of Santo Domingo is a story I really liked working with. And I remembered starting a second little they're like mini short stories. The Rose of Santo Domingo is a short story. It is out there. It's free to read on my Smashwords publisher website or anywhere where you can get ebooks. All the links to all this stuff is in my show notes. But, and I also did an audio version of it here on the podcast too. You could scroll back to September of last year, and we did the audio version of the Rose of Santo Domingo, because this next story kind of picks up a little bit where that left off. But just a quick summary, it was a rose that a girl was cultivating, special girl was cultivating, Rosalie. She had the Rose of Santo Domingo. The Rose of Santo Domingo itself, the spirit of that rose, knew it had a special mission. Its mission was to bring people together. And there were other spirit friends in the story who lived kind of like fairy friends and the cat, Rosalie's cat, but all worked together with the Rose of Santo Domingo to bring her into communication with her divine counterpart, Calvin O'Hanrahan, which is somebody she had been like in her vicinity for a while, but I don't know how, I don't even remember the whole story, but somehow the rose ended up bringing them together. So this story picks up, I love the picture of this rose so much. This story, it's not my picture, but it just kind of speaks to me. Oh, and there's a rose on the back of my iPad cover too, like right up there. I see shiny things. You were in the last video I did shiny things. All right, so I came looking. I'm like, roses. I know I have the rose of San Juan Capistrano. I've been hearing a lot about fire today and some of the cards I had drawn for myself. And I'm like, I know I've started this story somewhere. And so I opened up. I'm looking through some of my unfinished work. And I'm like, oh, here it is. And I had to read it to remember, like, I don't even remember writing this. So all my work is channeled. I kind of just do it, and sometimes it gets set aside because it's not ready to be shared yet, or it's not time for it. And so now it's time for the Rose of San Juan Capistrano, which I don't know. I'm not going to go look for it, but these roses each have a different significance. But this Rose of San Juan Capistrano is calling itself the Rose of Inner Power. So as with everything we do here on the show, kind of tune in with your master ears, or I'm not really going to show you anything right now, but you can look with your master eye. You may get visions with your third eye. You may just get feelings in your heart, but there may be metaphors in the story meant just for you. But this is the story for, we're calling this 5/5 episode part 1, which is preparation. So part 2 will be in June and part 3 will be in July. But if you are tapping into this and you're kind of playing along, then between now and June 6th, when we do the next one, you will have found, or Spirit will have shown you, gifted you, given you the the keyhole that's needed to unlock and open the door to your first key. Golly gee. All right, key locks and keys. So let's read this little short. This is just one chapter. And just let's see if there's any metaphors we want to tease out from that. And then we will do our pick a card and see where this whole mystery thing is going. All right, Rose of San Juan Capistrano. So let's take a deep breath. So just as a recap, so Rosalie is in the story. Calvin O'Hanrahan is her divine counterpart. Catamancy is her cat. He's a cat wizard. Molly McBottoms is the house fae, who kind of hangs out around the plant greenhouse. They have an indoor greenhouse. And Greer is their house elf. And so they all played a part in the story last time. And chapter 1 is heat and inner fire. When I read that, I was like, wow, more fire. So the day was bright and sunshiny, even with the weather forecasting a storm blowing in from Rockaway Point. They live in the neighboring town, which is Tessalak, which we have another book series that highlights Tessalak. But anyway, the tansy rose sat perched atop the windowsill of the inner garden room, and Greer, the house elf, dusted around all the pots of seedling flower babies, assuring that all the little souls inside the flowers felt safe and comfortable. His mistress Rosalie was out teaching her gardening class, and his new master of the house, Calvin, was fixing his bow tie and looking quite dapper at that. What had been a night of complete and utter weirdness a few months ago, that was what happened with the other story, had blossomed into a full romance, and Calvin and Rosalie had fallen in love, just as the little Rose of Santo Domingo had come there to fulfill, for matters of the heart were her expertise. And now a new Rose was stepping forward, and it had a very different life purpose. Okay, we talked about this. I don't know when we talked about this. Oh, we talked about this if you're following 777, which is the mini healing retreat we have going on. I just saw 2112. There's a lot of mirroring energies going on right now. These are like activation codes. But we talked about different life purposes coming up this month of May 2022 that you may start to be guided towards some new soul mission work. So This new Rose was stepping forward, a different life purpose. The Rose of San Juan Capistrano sat under a green light, basking in the feminine power of its gilded gold edges and strawberry pink petals. This Rose had a job to do, and it was time to activate. Molly McBottoms, she's the little fae, sat sunning herself, she's very small, sat sunning herself alongside the tansy Rose, who exuded a masculine power that was so strong, Molly had to fan herself with the miniature Japanese fan she had found on her last adventure outdoors. Someone had thrown out an entire miniature home in the dustbins, and she had enlisted the help of Greer to carry inside, transport rather, the small gypsy caravan with the miniature silk rug, small outdoor table and chairs, and a mini kitchen set up. But that Japanese fan had captured Molly's attention above all else. Somehow, when she fanned it in front of her, she could see into other worlds. And those other worlds had messages for her. And the messages foretold of a great adventure coming for Rosalie and Calvin. And whatever it was being kept tightly guarded. The only thing the spirits of the Japanese fan would say was that it was really, really good. That's good to know. I don't need anything beyond that at this point. What's with the rhetoric? Well, Molly wasn't one to believe blindly, as you should not do. You should always experiment, trust, and find out for yourself. She did have immense faith, but she was also level-headed and a sort of I'll believe it when I see it kind of fairy. The Rose of San Juan Capistrano poofed out a strawberry, I want this Ting Rose, poofed out a strawberry-scented vibe, and Calvin turned to look towards the inner garden room. He had to get back to his job at the School of Herbs where, based on all the gardening class knowledge he had acquired, he had been hired on as master herbalist. It's funny how once you put your mind to something, you can achieve anything. But as soon as he had started, the Rose of San Juan Capistrano would be calling him and Rosalie away. This is where it goes kind of weird. I'm like, what's happening here? But as soon as he had started, the Rose of San Juan Capistrano would be calling him and Rosalie away from Tessa Lock and to a new town where magic and mystery were waiting. The town of Whistling Gulch was calling, and it wanted someone to come and bring the light. This little town had seen its fair share of down times and had put out a call to the angels for guidance and assistance. Whistling Gulch was deep in the forest of the forbidden bears and deep within the perimeter of Tessa Lock's jurisdiction, but that wouldn't stop the powers that be. They wanted Calvin and Rosalie on this assignment, and even though the pair wasn't actively aware of their bringers of the light service work, they had always stepped forward when called upon. They would realize it soon enough. But for now there was a dark force in the But for now there was a dark they keep making me say forest. It's force, but they're saying for now there was a dark forest in the forest of forbidden bears, and Whistling Gulch had had enough. The cell phone dinged on the kitchen counter, and Calvin stepped over Catamancy to retrieve it. Did you know that cat wizards had the power to make a cell phone call? Well, maybe that's for another time. Hello, Calvin said politely, even though the caller ID said potential spam.
Hello, this is Wendy Willington calling from Whistling Gulch Retreat.
Wendy, a.k.a. Mrs. Smitherton of Bringers of the Light HQ, said into the telephone,
Are you the man of the house?
Which of course she knew full well that he was. Well, yes, I am, Calvin said politely again, but before you go any further, he didn't want to go into another timeshare presentation.
Well, it's your luck day, Mrs. Smitherton said, smiling from ear to ear. You've won an all-expense-paid getaway to Whistling Gulch Mountain Retreat, no strings attached.
She paused only briefly. But we didn't enter any contest, Calvin said, although he had recalled Rosalie filling out a contest entry form at the last autumn festival.
We would like to offer you this brief vacation getaway with all the trimmings,
Mrs. Smitherton said, hoping he wouldn't hang up. Well, she did have other ways of getting her point across, but she didn't like to ping people mentally if she didn't have to.
I'll have to talk it over with my love, Calvin said, always uncertain how he should refer to Rosalie when speaking to others. Was she his other half? Soulmate? Better half? Life partner? He still wasn't sure, but he did know love, and so he liked to call her that every chance he got. Oh, God, forget it. Hug Bear. We was watching Grace and Frankie last night. It was about something about Hug Bear. Never mind. We shiny things again. We can send a limo for you and a guest this Friday if you'd like, Mrs. Smitherton said, pushing with her mind. You'll find everything you need to know about this in your email and on our website. You can even call our main office and get references if you're unsure. Of course, that phone number went straight to HQ main office. As Calvin was ho-humming about this whole strange situation, the flowers and plants in the inner garden room were listening. Catamancy rose and silently padded into the room and up to Greer. Project Lightwork 101 is about to commence, he mentally said to Greer. We need to be ready. Greer nodded in agreement and understanding and put down his dust cloth. Sorry. That's so funny. Oh my God, I want a house elf so bad. You would have... Oh, it's the little things. He would have work to do in order to ready the Rose of San Juan Capistrano for travel. But it wasn't anything he hadn't done before. I can't see now. Molly McBottoms put the Japanese fan down and said a silent prayer. Her guardians were getting a special assignment, one that would stretch their relationship, bringing them closer together and activating their light bodies to an even higher degree of spiritual power. She must help the others to get ready, she thought, pulling a tapestry travel bag from the hole in the wall of the little corner garden. They were going on a quest. Goodness me. So there we go. We're going on a quest to find the freaking door locks to our keys, or whatever yours were. Some of you have sent me pictures of yours, and I think, in a sense, you two are kind of like, I kind of have these keys now, but I'm really not exactly sure what's going on with them. So now let's do this. I'm going to move the camera down so we can see the piles. I'm going to let you pick your piles. We'll timestamp all that. I think last time I did a pick a pile. I don't know what I did. But anyway, we'll have the timestamps down in the show notes. You can pick your pile. You can pick one pile, more than one, I don't know. But the significance of this, the question that was asked and the intention for the pick a pile was kind of to help you understand more what this whole scavenger hunt and this road to Lionsgate between whenever you listen to this and the 8-8, what that means for you and give you a little bit more context around it. So let's go now look at the cards. All right, friends, here we are. Here are our 3 piles. I'm not going to go into a big old spiel about them other than to just show you the markers. But this is going to give you more information about your what this time between now and Lionsgate means for you. So I guess even if you didn't watch the beginning, or even if you didn't want to participate in the 3 keys and the keyhole thing, the whole scavenger hunt thing, this part could still have significance for you. So pile 1 is the beekeeper. And rather than picking up the blue ball, which we talked about earlier, the crystal ball, they had me pick up the bottle cap with the bees on it. The 2 bees. And pile 3 is what I showed you earlier too. It's significant of divine counterparts, or it could just be that the Taurus stands out for you, but it was my 3rd key, which I can't find the original key anymore. So pick your pile 1, 2, or 3, and we will see you back here with pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You chose the beekeeper person. We will put him over here.
Let's just lay out your cards. All right, you got the letter A. This is from my deck Labyrinth of Dragonshire, my handmade deck. Today is a good day to die. Card number 2. You got the letter I, let go of my ego. I also do notice this is like AI. Whenever I see this, I don't know, it has something to do, it's not artificial intelligence, but it's more like starseed stuff. So your Twin Hearts card, because we used my deck Twin Hearts, is I am here for you in the good times and the bad. Your tarot card is the Seven of Wands and the Death card. You got the Death card twice because to me this one is like the Death card because it says today is a good day to die. Oh my God. So major transformation for you. The heart chakra getting a good big upgrade. So they're just, guides are just going right into it here. Heart chakra getting a big upgrade. Your road to Lionsgate is very heart-based. It's very letting go of control. It's allowing for spirit to step in and do what needs to be done in order to get you to where you need to be, which is your highest timeline, all the things you've been asking for, the stuff that's for your highest and best good, highest outcomes, highest trajectories, highest timelines. You're being asked to put the past behind you. Even if you are longing for a reunion, they're saying, even if you're hoping, so some of you, it sounds like maybe hoping for the past to come back in some way. And they're like, release all judgment, number 1, release all attachment to outcomes, allow spirit, let go of your ego, which means let go of your lower, let go of control, let go of the control of wanting it your way or wanting it now. Let go of all the holding on to that you're doing with your lower chakras, because typically when we're trying to control something, it's all tied up in our solar plexus. And your guides are saying, if you just let go of control and say, I surrender this to a higher power, I just want what's the best outcome for everyone involved. I want to do this with love and with respect and all of that. Then you'll almost feel, if you're very sensitive, you don't know how to be very sensitive, but if you're sensitive to energy or the own flow of energy in your body, you will then feel a huge release from your solar plexus. Just go straight up because you're allowing source to come in, or the angels, guides to come in and take over, which is crown-based energy and a crown-based kind of mindset, because spirituality and divine, all the divine stuff happens right outside of the physical body in the universe and the other like angelic realms and so forth. And so when you surrender that control, that energy ball of control you're holding in your solar plexus just kind of shoots all the way up through your heart and out through your crown. And it's just like you've released this bubble of intention to a higher power to take care of for you on your behalf. So there's going to be major changes for you coming in the next 3 months. Some you've been wanting, some you've been hoping for, and others that are better than what you've been hoping for. They're saying to get you where you need to be. And I'm doing a lot of squirming as I'm like reading this, doing this reading, this part, which it's like you're antsy for this change. You want it now. You're like wondering, when is it going to come? You've been like fighting for so long for this. You've been wanting it, like you want it so hard. You want it so hard. Ooh. But sorry, it's still around belting. But you're just being asked to release the control of what you want, because what you want is coming. It is coming in for you. It may be different than what you expect, but it's going to be better than what you expect. So don't we always kind of like typically kind of sometimes go into that like fatalist, like what is the word? Like thinking of the worst. So let's pull one final card. This is pretty straightforward group if you chose group 1 from my new favorite deck, the Oracle of Light and Dreams. Every time I pull a card from this deck now, I'm like, it's like Scott Howden, who created the deck, climbed into my heart and like made this deck because I just love it so much. So let's see what your Oracle of Light and Dreams card is for group number 1. Oh, look, it's so pretty. Butterflies. So I do like to read from the book for this, but she's got, like, obviously transformation. We're talking about this whole thing's about transformation and all of the little nest egg of things that you've been wanting. But they are butterflies here. They're not things in a cocoon, which is typically like you're still waiting. Number 24 is the card, which could also be significant. And butterflies is, let's see if I can get it here. Transform your life, acknowledge, bravery, choice, overcome, and change. In this painting, the fragile blue eggs and the delicate, vibrant monarch butterflies are symbolic of change, growth, and the power that can be found in transformation. When we reshape our lives, we go beyond, we go beyond the way that we currently live and behave in order to create a better life for ourselves. Transformation involves figuring out what is important to us, facing our fears, and acting on our power of choice to make positive changes. And the quote is from, I guess it's Anais Nin. I take pleasure in my transformations. I look quiet and consistent, but few know how many women there are in me. Too cute. So that is it for you, group number 1. And I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you will join us on the three, it's almost like that show, Lock and Key. Although that show, I can't watch that anymore. It got too spooky, but it's a Netflix show. There I go squirming again. So just have patience. Maybe you need to, maybe the other advice for you, group 1, is to try and distract yourself as much as possible with shiny things, because Spirit's driving the boat right now, they're saying. And so you should just enjoy the outcomes of what's going on for you during this time. So that is all we have to share for you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Take care. All right. Hello, group 2. Hello. Welcome. You chose the BB bottle cap established in what? 1891. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is too. Maybe you do. It's got a number 6 on the inside. All right. Let's lay out your cards. Oh man, this is already similar to group 1. So I don't know if you also are coming from group 1. But the first card we have is from my Happenstance Oracle. The things I draw on the fronts and backs are significant to the whole thing. So what is happening here? I don't even remember what I drew. It's like what the hell is this? It's a snake person who just looks super tired. They're like, oh gosh. They just seem defeated here, like, oh. And you have release control. And interesting, why does that say yo-yo? Yo-yo. I don't remember writing that. I don't think it's supposed to be yo-yo, but that's what it looks like. So we're going to take it like that. All right. I think you were the group that got a lot of Twin Hearts cards. So Twin Hearts is my deck for divine counterparts and all that. And I just saw 111 on the counter here. So the Twin Hearts cards you got are, I wish I could come see you. These keep zooming in from the side. Sorry, that's probably a little bit like shocking. There's something else right now, which is like work. That's child's play. So okay, I'm already getting a message for that. Hold on a minute. Let me get them all out here. Coming in here. I'm into you. And they just zoom in. Please, please me. So we had release control. So this does seem very obviously very relationship based. So between now and Lionsgate, you're dealing with another person, most likely a romance, obviously, because we've got two people. It's talking about passion. I mean, it looks very passionate, hanging out, doing stuff. So I would not say this is necessarily friends. I guess it could be. I guess you could be friends with somebody and still have passion for them, right? You can be friends with someone and still have passion for them. So maybe it's like the beginning of something more. And you are, let's see, we're in May. You want something more with a certain person, but I think you're a little caught up in your head. And because you don't know what to do to move forward, you're just kind of, this was a message from pile one. Pile one was being encouraged to go after the shiny things and distract themselves. But in this case, you don't know what to do, or it's not time yet. And so you're distracting yourself with shiny things, or your work is kind of a shiny thing, because this particular card is like child's play. That's work. Which means you're already on your soul path, your soul mission, your soul journey. You're already doing work that feeds your soul, so it doesn't feel like work to you. But I think you're just feeling like you really want, I think this is what it is. You really want, this was the BB card too. Okay, B, twins B. You really want this. You want to hang out. You're tired of being alone. You want to hang out and have fun. You want to I'm so into you. That's a song. I can't think another. I don't remember that song. So into you, I think it is. And you really want, it looks like you're some little bit of a distance from whoever this is that you want to be with, because there's a plane and you're like, I wish I could just come be with you, hang out with you, all of that good stuff. And so you're just feeling a little bit like, oh, like I'm this snake, because the snake's all about like passion and Kundalini fire. And he's got like this orange aura around him. Like, I feel so passionate about this exchange, or this, what I'm feeling for me. And I just 440 and 444 is coming up here on the counter. I feel this passion, but I'm just like, oh, I'm tired of waiting. Oh, I'm so ready to go. I'm ready to do this. And just like, so like, I wish I could just make this happen. And your guides are saying, we have to flip it over. Your guides are saying release control. Allow yourself to just take a step back. Oh, I'm missing some cards. I'm like, there's got to be more of a message here. You've got tarot cards too. Let's see. I don't know if that's significant of anything. All right. Your tarot cards are the 5 of Pentacles. You must think like she's like the most scatterbrained reader. 3 of Pentacles. Justice. Oh, you got 6. And we had a 6 inside that bottle cap. The Knight of Swords. Yes, okay, I already know where this is going. I just throw them down. 2 of Wands and the Queen of Wands. All right. You have been waiting for quite some time. You've been feeling, there's that feeling again, like that snake, like, I wish I could just make this work. I wish I could just make this happen. I wish I could just do this right now. You've been co-creating and manifesting this with the universe. You've been wanting this to happen. You've been working very hard on your manifestation. And Spirit is saying it's all going to fall into place. The justice is coming. The time is going to be coming here when you are going to be told, now is the time to move forward. You're going to be given the green light to come forward with whatever communication you need to make. And trust me, this person isn't going anywhere. This person has been waiting for you too. So this person is also distracting themselves with shiny things. She's got a lot of orange. There's so much passion here. All the lower chakras, the communication, waiting for the ship to come in. This person has been waiting for you too, unbeknownst to you. I think that you think that this person is going somewhere. I think you think that this person is not going to wait for you, or that that you're a little scared that when Spirit finally says, like, it's time for you to move forward and communicate now, that this person is not going to be around, like they're going to have moved on or something. And Spirit's here to say, no, this person is actively manifesting you too. They are waiting for you. They're trying to be as patient as they can be. And they are totally in their power as well. Okay? Because it's like, they can't wait, right? They've got this wand, and over here, they've got the same wand. It's got more, like they waited a while because it's got bigger leaves on it. But she's got the sunflower. She's hanging out with her cat and her lion. Look, this is like Lionsgate throne. It's got 2 lions on it with a sunflower. She's hanging out on her Lionsgate throne. So by the time Lionsgate comes, you and this person are going to be in this energy. And in this energy, or anywhere in between that you're both comfortable with. So this is a journey of the heart for the divine counterpart. They just have me say, this is a journey of the heart for the divine counterpart. So bees, because that's kind of mirrored energy. Even if you're not dealing with somebody who's a bee and a bee is mirrored energy. It's this bee on both sides, whatever that means. All right, so I am not, you guys, there are some readers who make sure their cards are like perfectly aligned, and I'm like, let's just throw them down here. All right, I'm going to draw you one last card from the Oracle of Light and Dreams, where Scott Howden, who created this deck, just kind of climbed into my soul and made me a bunch of cards because they're just so perfect. I'm going to draw you one last card. And your person is waiting for you too. Okay, and the card you got, oh, I've not seen this one before, coming in over here. Toyland. Look at that. Number 46. Oh, look, all those toys are floating with balloons. So, and she's a little princess or somebody. Okay, let's read what this Toyland card is all about, because I don't know. I've hardly used, just getting to know this deck. 46. There we go. Take time to play. So you're being encouraged to immerse, just like we said over here. Where the heck did you go? Your work is your play. So work, get distracted by some shiny things. Go watch some Netflix or whatever. Take time to play. Imagination, creativity, joy, and spontaneity. This card represents play and the imaginative and creative forces that are engaged when we participate in playful activities. There are few things in life that are more joyous and beneficial than the pure fun of play. Games and recreation are essential in childhood development. They provide children with the opportunity to use their creativity and develop their imagination and physical, cognitive, and emotional strength. Whether it's kicking a ball in the park, sharing a joke, playing fetch with a dog, or countless other activities, play is something that we should all make time for. Engaging in playful activities with friends playful activities. That's what kind of was kind of signified here too. Engaging in playful activities with friends, a partner, coworker, or pet is a great way to improve all of your health, your imagination, creativity, physical, and emotional health. The quote is Carl Jung, "The great joy of play, fantasy, and imagination is that for a time we are utterly spontaneous, free to imagine anything. In such a state of pure being, no thought is unthinkable and nothing is unimaginable." That's where you are able to, when you play, which I think for a lot of you is your work, somehow during that time, you're able to release control. You gain your power back and you don't feel so like, oh, when is this going to happen? Oh, every time I do that, I told my son, every time I do that, it's like Mordecai, or one of our favorite shows is regular time. It's like, oh, like Mordecai when he's always like bummed out. It's a time for you to, it's a time when you're working or playing which sounds like you get to do that quite a lot because your work is your play and your playtime too, then you're able to like relax a little bit from this situation. And you're not, the other thing too is I think Spirit is saying that you're afraid you're going to miss go time, that you're going to mistake it for something else, or that you're not going to hear Spirit when it's time, and that that's somehow going to make you miss out on making this communication with this special person. And Spirit's like, okay, come on, trust yourself a little bit more than that. Like, you've been in it to win it this whole entire time. What makes you think that the last possible minute that suddenly your intuition is going to go bad or something? So I think you're just a little bit nervous about this connection. And the main message there is the other person is a little bit nervous about it too, but the other person's anticipating it. They're waiting for it. They're just as ready as you are. And there's a whole new mission out there for you once this finally does happen. So you're very much a part of the story. If you were at the intro and heard the Rose of San Juan Capistrano, you're very much the Calvin and Rosalie somewhere down the line. But your soul mission starts at the point of the communication between the two of you, at the point of you introducing yourself to that person is kind of when the mission starts. And then it's go time, and you have a whole new set, a whole new instruction set gets downloaded of things that both of you get to work on together, as well as you still getting to do your own individual soul work, that fun, cool job or whatever it is you've got. The other person has a fun, cool job, and you get to continue to keep those fun, cool jobs, but then you have a combined fun, cool job, some other bringers of the light assignment that is kind of being kept a little hidden from you. But the magic gets to come out at some point, and you get to find out what all that is. So don't fret, group 2. Everything's fine. Go relax a little bit. And the time is coming for you to move very, very soon. So you are in preparation mode for a quest, just like the story said. So we will see how this progresses on the 6/6 when we come together again for part 2 of this magical quest to Lionsgate. And we'll see what's happened between now and then. If the call has been sent out, have you answered the call? Or maybe that 6/6 time is going to be the it's time for you to move now call. I don't know how this all works. I just do what spirits ask me to do for the most part. Sometimes I can be a little rebellious. But anyway, thank you so much, Pile 2, for joining me here. And we will see you again in the next episode of this show, or again for part 2 in June. So take care. Hello, friends. Hello, group 3, my final little group. You chose the divine counterparts, I don't know, soul flame, soul union. That's what this signifies, since I can't find the little piece anymore, or the Taurus pin. These are your cards. And get them all laid out here. So the first card you got is from the I know my hand, sorry, if you're watching the video of this, my hand just appears suddenly off, coming around from the left of the screen. So I don't want to like freak you out, but this card is from Happenstance. This is just hand-drawn cards. The things on the back are also significant. I don't know, this is a stick person with a lot of waves going on. And we have world changes are affecting you. So this point of this reading, remember, is to talk about what's happening for you between now and the 8/8 Lionsgate. So let's get all the rest of the cards. The first 2, no, I'm not going to say that. You have 1 Twin Hearts card, which is, I want to reconnect with you. Please don't shut me out. And then you have a bunch of tarot cards. So let's get all the tarot cards. The first tarot card you got is, you are a badass being. So this was stayed in the deck, which I think it's not part of the deck, but it showed up there. So you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. Or through this Lionsgate portal that starts now, maybe you find a path to your best self. And there's some, in a sense, mirrored energy up here too. We've been talking about mirrored energy this whole show with the M and the it's not really a W to me. It's like an upside down M. So maybe MM, because we have BB going on so far in the show. A lot going on with the letter B. Now we have M's. You have the Fool card. I'm going to get them all laid out here. Seven of Pentacles, the Moon, Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, the Judgment card. World changes are affecting you. So already this Lionsgate for you is a path to your best self. So it feels much more spirituality based, they're saying, rather than having to do with another person. So the who wants to reconnect with you is like your higher self and your spirit guides, rather than a partner type of thing. You are being renewed at, this is more of a channeling coming through for you. You are being renewed at a cellular level. You may have also come from the other piles too, but you are, as part of this 8-8 portal, being renewed at a cellular level. Your guides are acknowledging all the hard work you've done on yourself at the Seven of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Every moon cycle, you've been like releasing and letting go and healing and doing your meditation, and you are ready to graduate to a higher level of consciousness. And it's like all of your guides are kind of applauding all the hard work you've done, and you're getting your wings. You're getting your wings. You're rising above all that's happening in the world in this case. So the world changes are affecting you. It's kind of going to be more lightly felt by you, because you're going to have a better understanding of your own energy. And so you're not going to let world changes affect you anymore in the way that you have before, because you recognize how to work in your own power. The High Priestess. Also, this Moon card is less about shadows and more about, well, it is about you doing shadow work kind of at the moon phases, but it's also about you recognizing, like, even my shadow doesn't have power over me the way it used to. So I can give an example just for this. I've been doing so much work with I swear, Master Co. I've been doing so much work with Master Co. kind of about this spiritual engineering of how to work with my own energy, rather than just working with it because I intuitively know how to work with it. Now I kind of understand the mechanics behind what's happening when I'm doing what I'm doing. And I understand it from a higher level, from the level of the soul. And so when feelings come up now that are kind of weird, and it could be my own, it could be some projection or something happening that's a world event, right away, I'm able to like nip it in the bud. So the other day, just for example, something started swimming around. It was like this weird feeling of anxiety. And I'm like, I don't like this at all. And I'm like, wait a minute, either I created this anxiety, me as the soul created this anxiety, or it's coming from outside of me and I'm just kind of bumping up against it. But I don't have to put up with it any longer than I possibly have to. And so right away I was able to disintegrate it and cut the cords to that, and it was gone. So this is being able to work in the world in a higher level of understanding of who you are as a spiritual soul, who you are as a being of light, as a bringer of the light, standing in your own power, not going to take crap from anybody. That's you. You're this badass being full of life, love, and possibilities, and you're finding your way to your best self. And it's time, because of all that you've been doing on you, all the work you've been doing on yourself. And you're going to be getting, in a sense, a new assignment too. You're going to be leveling up. You're going to be feeling more like footloose and fancy free, above the world and above the cares of all the stuff that's going on around you. You just don't have time for that anymore at the same way you used to. So it sounds very much like you're empathic, but you know how to work with it now. and you understand where all of this weirdness that you've been feeling for so long has been coming from, and you're able to kind of shut it out is the best word they are giving me for that, kind of shut it out in a new way, knowing what your own power feels like, what your own energy field feels like, and it makes you feel like this now. It makes you feel light and free and carefree and not like less cares in the world, because you have this higher understanding of how the spirit world works and how to manifest. Like this is not your first rodeo, high priestess. You understand your manifesting capabilities, your way of working with your own energy, the way of working with your own power. And somehow it's like you get this like epiphany, like this light switch. What you're really getting is a series of plasma body upgrades through the upper chakras. I don't know where that's going, but you're getting a series of light body upgrades, and that is also raising your consciousness. And when your consciousness raises like that, you start to get a better, deeper understanding. And we talked about levels of truth, and your level of truth about how you work in the world and how you live in the world and how you work with your energy in the world, you're coming to a higher understanding of what that's all about. And so you're getting like a new assignment now. So the assignment you've been on for however long you've been on it, which is come to understand yourself better as a soul having a physical experience in a human avatar suit, is now going to change. You've mastered that, and now you're going to be given a new assignment in the world. So that's going to be different for all of you. I like the sounds of that. So we're going to draw you one card, final card from Oracle of Light and Dreams. Like I said in the past two groups, Scott Howden, like, I don't know, must have tapped into my consciousness and made these cards, because every single card is like something I just love so much. It's like I should have made this deck if I had had more practice with my art. Oh, look, here she is. This is you. So you got Joan of Arc. You've got your wings now. Didn't we just say that in this reading? Yeah, we said you got your wings now. We said that over here. She's got wings. I love working with her. Let's read from the book. I like the little stories that Scott puts in his book. But look, you've got your little golden halo from all the meditation, all the high vibes. You've been working with the moon. That also is significant of the moon. You've got your little sword of truth. Like, I know who I am. I'm a badass being full of life. All right, so let's read. This is card number 37, which breaks down to a 1 and all these new beginnings. Okay, this is learn from those who inspire you. Learn from those who inspire you. Role model, this is just what we were talking about. This is your new assignment. Inspiration, aspiration, success, and heroes. Joan of Arc became a national heroine at the age of 18 when she led the French army to victory over the English at Orleans. Her story inspired the French population during her life, and it has grown to mythic proportions today, making her one of the most legendary figures of all time. The legend of Joan of Arc is a great example of the power of heroic figures. By displaying strength, hope, and determination, she became an inspiration and role model to generations of people. By using the lives and success stories of others as an example, we too can be inspired to discover who we are and what we are capable of. And the quote is by Warren Buffett. Tell me your heroes and I'll tell you how your life will end up. Oh, that's cute. I love it. I love working with her too. If you want to tap in with her as a spirit guide, she is a super fun, cool sister of light, very carefree, very inner child based. We actually worked with her on a workshop I did, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even remember what it's called anymore, Child's Play or something. And she was super fun. And I just saw 1111 go by on the counter, so she's a fun spirit guide. But for this Lionsgate, it's all about you leveling up into the next level of your soul's work, new soul mission, coming online, spreading all the cool stuff you've learned on this journey to self-discovery and sharing that with others now. So that is all we have for you, Group 3. I want to thank you so much for joining me here, and we will see you either again in the next episode of the show, the podcast, or in the part 2 of this Lionsgate series. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, and take care.